Hello everyone and welcome back. This video is going to be similar to the one I posted yesterday, where we take a little trip back in the time machine and I'll show you some footage that I shot back in July. In this video, I show you how I designed and 3D printed a shelf that I put my coding laptop on here in the electronics lab.
I'm pretty proud of this design. I really like the way that it is radially symmetrical around the center point here, which means that I can just print two of these and they will just fit together. So you can see that that rotates around like that. And then the other one that is printed exactly the same way with just a different color on top. And then you have one much larger piece that you can then attach to the monitor arm up there. So that's going to go get mounted up here, and then we'll be able to rotate that. I'm going to go ahead and add some super glue to the center here, down this line, and then we will squeeze these pieces together so that they are fixed permanently. And that is probably way too much, but we'll see what happens when I try to squeeze these together. So you can see that they fit together pretty nicely, but I'm just going to take a pair of needle nose and squeeze them together just a little more tightly. So I'm pretty happy with that. It'll be flat when it dries. We'll let the glue dry. And then we're going to stick some threaded inserts in each one of these holes. And I'll do that with epoxy as I've shown in other videos. I hate glue on my hands. So before we get too far into this, I'll put some gloves on. That is the finished product with the threaded inserts. Okay, so everything has been allowed to dry overnight. And you can see that it's plenty stiff now. We got a little bit of glue here, which is not pretty. I could sand that off, but I'm not really that concerned about it. I'm just going to leave it for now. But overall, I think it looks pretty cool. On the back, the threaded inserts have been glued in with 5-minute epoxy. And again, that's been allowed to dry overnight. The remaining thing to do is this monitor stand has a removable tray where you just unhook this little knob here, this thumb screw, and then this plate slides out. Now that in turn can go right on top of that, and you can see that all the holes line up with the threaded inserts. I don't have any other washers on hand right now. So what I did was, since I have a 3D printer, I just printed some. This is basically what you end up with. I made 15 washers, even though I really only need 8. Pretty happy with the way those turned out. The washers are designed to really spread the load a little bit so that you can distribute that and you get a much stiffer part in the end. The only thing left to do is to attach that to the monitor mount. And then you can see that the laptop just goes right on there. One of the advantages of this laptop table that, or laptop ledge that I printed for a VGA monitor stand is that it has these hexagonal holes in it that you can use to zip tie the cables to. So when you're doing your cable organization, you can just use that to zip tie everything. Now, one of the things that has always annoyed me when I'm organizing cables is that I will usually zip tie the cables all into position and then realize I have one more cable to put in. So that always annoyed me. One thing that you can do when using zip ties, though, is put them in backwards. So if you look at this really quickly, if you go this way, if you put them in this way, they will latch. But if you flip it around and you put it in backwards, like that, you can cinch that all the way up and notice that you don't hear any clicking. That's because these little ridges are on the wrong side, which means that you can just undo it very quickly, which is very handy when you want to temporarily hold something in place without permanently doing it. Once you have all the wires in their final place, then you can flip this around. You can pull it apart. Just flip this around and do it correctly and it'll latch. So that's what I did here. You can see that I flipped all the cable ties around so that they just cinch without clicking. And that allows me to hold the cable temporarily in place while I'm working to make sure that I have all the cables in the run that I want before actually making it permanent. The laptop looks pretty good up there. I just have to secure it with some 3M strips. And then the final step will be to just get everything wired up.
Okay, but I think that's enough for this video. This is day 14 of a 30-day challenge I've given myself to post a video to YouTube every day in the month of September. And as always, if you have feedback about how I can build better 3D printed parts or make better videos, please leave a comment down below. But for now, that's my 2 cents. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day and stay awesome.